So this week's episode of 2 Minute Tuesday was inspired by an article on the Mediterranean diet being one of the healthiest in the world and a diet that we should all aspire to. So as somebody who lives in the Mediterranean, is this diet as good as it's meant to be? And when we live in Spain, do we all follow this diet and do we all expect to live until we're 130 years of age? So welcome to episode 156 of 2 Minute Tuesday, where we talk about the Mediterranean diet. So first things first, this isn't diet advice by any stretch of the imagination. However, my better half, Mrs. B, she's qualified in psychology of health and dietetics. So she has run the rule over what I've written, and she's given me the thumbs up. So as I said, we're diving into the Mediterranean diet and finding out if it's as healthy as they say. So the first thing is, what is this diet? And what I'd like to say is it's not really a diet, it's more about a way of life, and one that's sadly becoming less common here in the Mediterranean than perhaps it used to be. One of the big factors or contributors to this style of eating is the association of food with family and friends, and sitting down and eating together without the TV and mobile phones, spending time together, eating slowly, enjoying conversation, enjoying the food. Spaniards are very, very social and close with family members, and having that sort of contributes to their overall well-being, and it's a really important factor with regards to health and longevity. And the fact that you're eating slowly and mindfully and enjoying the food with family and friends is far better than having a microwave meal on your lap whilst you're watching the latest movie on Netflix. So really the Mediterranean diet isn't a diet per se, it's really a method of eating dictated by the seasons and your finances. So many years ago, before the proliferation of supermarkets, people in the Med used to eat what they caught in terms of fish, and they used to eat the crops that were harvested and ripe at that time of the year. And due to the heat here in Spain, preserving food wasn't as simple as it maybe is nowadays. So fresh was always best. It's also about not eating until you pop. When food is limited, it's a luxury. So food was not taken for granted many years ago, and you only ate what you required and what you needed. And so this was one of the most important factors. It was about moderation. Now, I'd also say that it's obvious and everybody's aware of this, but portions used to be way smaller than they are nowadays. And in Spain, people would eat tapas, so they would have smaller portions of food that they would then pick out, rather than having a huge plate of food. That would be for parties and special occasions, but for eating, you would have lots of little varieties of different foods. So you'd have some nuts, you'd have some vegetables, you'd have some fruit, maybe some fish and other produce, and it would be more good than luxury on the table that was made available for you when you were eating. However, I still think we need to be realistic. We're not talking about 100 years ago, we're talking about today. And in Spain, the supermarkets are just as full of the brightly labelled, high sugar, high fat, ultra-processed rubbish that's available anywhere else in Europe. So the diet today really is a long way from the diet of the poor people from many years ago, when they only ate the seasonal fruit and vegetables. Everything today is available to us any day of the week, any time of the year. And when people used to eat fish on a Friday, it was because it was available or they could afford it. And nowadays, you can go to the shop and eat whatever you want from wherever in the world you want at any time that you want. The Mediterranean diet is also about enjoying delicious and wholesome food that can do wonders for your health. And let's not forget, it's not just about the fruit and vegetables. We've also got the fish, the seafood. We have lean meats like chicken, some dairy products, and eggs. These are all part of the Mediterranean diet as well. But it's about everything in moderation. So, having a Mediterranean diet isn't about having a small side dish with a few leaves of lettuce and a couple of slices of tomato. It's about having a plate that's full of colourful, beautiful food, 2/3, 3/4 of it good, healthy food. One of the things that a lot of people associate the Mediterranean diet with is the use of olive oil, and that we'll cover now. So olive oil is seen as being the star player of the Mediterranean diet, but again, we need to be mindful of the fact that too much olive oil can lead to too many calories, which will lead to extra pounds and things like this. So again, moderation is the word that we're looking for. There's nothing worse than going to a restaurant and seeing an absolutely beautiful salad, so bright and colourful, and then seeing somebody empty half a bottle of olive oil onto it. You've taken that fantastic salad for 4 people with 300 calories and made it into a 1,500 calorie monstrosity. So again, you know the word I'm using, it's moderation. And of course, we all accompany our meal with a glass of local wine. And the wine here is cheap, it's plentiful, and it's plenty tasty as well. But again, it's about moderation. People used to have a glass of wine with their meal, and it used to be a small glass of wine, and the giant goblets that we have nowadays and consider those to be a glass of wine when really it's a third of a bottle. It's very, very different. So the Mediterranean diet is about healthy mind and healthy food as well, and the moderation, which obviously was brought about by finances, but nowadays we need to think maybe knowledge should be the more important factor. And of course, when you live here, you have access to all this amazing fresh food. You only need to go into the market here in Hondon on a Wednesday or a Saturday to the street market, and you'll see so much fresh fruit and vegetable that comes out of the local fields and things like this, and potatoes still with the soil on. We have the opportunity here to eat really great local food, and we really should take advantage of it. And, if you do, then, maybe a little bit of a Mediterranean diet when you're living here is going to be a good thing for you. So that's it really, just a little walk through the myth of the Mediterranean diet, if you like, that everybody here eats it. We have the same temptations here as you may do where you're watching this. If people feel more comfortable going down to the supermarkets on the coast where you'll find Tesco products or Iceland products, then fair dues. But you have got the opportunity or the ability when you're here to go to the street markets on a Saturday or go to the street markets on a Wednesday and buy fresh fruit and fresh vegetables that come out of the fields locally. You're making great steps in the right direction if you're doing that. And the odd treat every once in a while is okay, but everything in moderation, and you should be okay. So that's it for this week's 2 Minute Tuesday. If you've got any questions or queries, then my details should be on the screen at the moment. If you're enjoying these videos, then you can obviously subscribe if you're watching it on YouTube. Then you'll be notified when the videos are uploaded, and they'll be on our Facebook page. And of course, you can refer to them on our website. They're all in the 2 Minute Tuesday section on our website. So that's it for this week's episode. If you've got any questions, let me know. But until then, the next episode, we look forward to seeing you then. Adios.